So what happens is you end up with poor rehab outcomes, you end up with increased mental health issues, you end up with increased family crisis and breakdown because the longer a person is away from work and not progressing towards work, and depending on an insurance company and its whim as to whether they're going to continue to pay this individual income replacement, especially since oftentimes those income replacement benefits are only a fraction of what they were earning before anyway. It's increased financial burden and crisis, obviously burden to other systems, including welfare, including ODSP, Canada Pension Disability, because if an individual stops being paid their income replacement benefit, yet they can't work because of their physical or whatever impairments, what are their alternatives? Relying on a partner, if it's possible. We know that in Canada, most people have two incomes. One income ain't going to be sufficient, so if that's the case, then the whole family becomes in crisis, and that contributes to the family burden, family breakdown and crisis. And the other thing is that there, in terms of appeals, there's a very cumbersome appeal process now where we know that even if Drs. Xanis or I were to do one of these insurer examinations, one of our colleagues, and we didn't feel the client if we felt that the individual could actually go back to work, and the patient-client decided to appeal that process, it can be upwards of 5, 6, 7 years before they have their day in court or arbitration. And you can appreciate even if at the end of the day, some judge or arbitrator said, yes, you should receive this treatment, yes, you should have this income replacement benefit, the chances from a rehab perspective, 5 to 7, even 3 to 7 years later, is such that even with the best rehab, the likelihood is that the gains are going to be so minimal at that point in time. And you're also dealing with somebody who's probably so jaded and dealing with issues of depression. And we don't know statistically if you've been out of work for basically 2 years, the chances of ever going back to work are less than 10% at 2 years and dropping after that. Okay. So 50% after 6 months, 20% after 1 year, 10% after 2 years, and plummeting from there. Okay.